Hello, welcome to our channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to do something a little different. So this is the first time I'm doing something like this. We're going to be looking at basically some exhibits with the Phoenix Zoo. So as a lot of homeschoolers are aware, if you're new to homeschooling, this is kind of an important thing a lot of homeschoolers become aware of. In your area, particularly if you live in a city or any kind of area where you can do yearly passes for various attractions like zoos and aquariums and different museums. A lot of times it's cheaper, particularly for homeschoolers or for people who are going to go there frequently, to just get a yearly pass. So we have a yearly pass for the Phoenix Zoo because, again, we live, as much as I like to hide it, in the Phoenix metro area, which thankfully is very, very large. So last, I think, summer, I bought passes to the Phoenix Zoo. We didn't really start being able to use them until September-ish. So if you're coming to visit Arizona, okay, so when would you visit the zoo? Depending on the weather, no earlier than September, and that's iffy. You're closing in on you'd have to go really early in the morning. So for pass holders, you can, in the summer months, which normally you don't go to unless you're really crazy and you're getting there at like 7 in the morning, because season pass holders can get in an hour early. Don't go in the summer. Don't come to Arizona in the summer. It's hot and it's miserable. Unless maybe you're going up to somewhere like Flagstaff or the Grand Canyon, where it's probably crowded, but still, it's hot down here in the Phoenix area. Don't come to Phoenix in summer. It's miserable. So essentially, we started using these passes. I think we went on a cloudy day in September, and then really starting regularly, kind of trying to check it out around end of October, when things kind of cooled into the 80s in the morning. It was still in the 90s in 2021 in I think mid-October. We didn't really see winter weather until like the week before Christmas. So again, it's a weather thing. So the zoo is very, very large, and there's a lot of walking. You can buy these weird little rideable things, but it's still very hot here in summer. And if you have little kids, it's not fun. So we have our stroller and our child, and we walk it because it's good exercise, but we really don't start going until like October-ish. And then this is the first year we've done it. I'm guessing, just by my knowledge of this state and the area, May would be the last month we would go anywhere near the zoo. Because again, it's very, very hot outside. So after that, that's early May. Mid-May through probably until like the maybe middle of September. You're not going to go anywhere near it because it's too hot unless you can get there really, really early in the morning. The regular during the during the summer months, the regular general people with general admission get in at 8 o'clock. During the winter months, starting I think somewhere around September, they push it to 10. So, and then again, season pass holders, if you live in Arizona, it's an hour early. So in the summer, it's 7. In the winter and fall months and spring, it's 8. So we actually, I think we haven't been able to get there. Some of these pictures are going to be from earlier. Sometimes we get in earlier. Lately, with this as cold as it's been lately, in December and January here, we've been getting there about 9, which is when general admission. Sorry, it wasn't 10. It's 9. It's still early. So in summer, again, I do think they actually let you in either at 7 or 8, just because it does get very hot. So they don't expect to see people in the middle of the day unless they're crazy. So let's have a look at the zoo. So again, you're not going to be seeing pictures of my kid. I don't post her online because it's her decision. So I'm actually going to be staring at a map here because I will be putting up pictures of various things which I've taken with my camera, but I don't know the zoo by heart yet. So I'm going to be staring at the map. So one other thing to know, as of the shooting of this video, and by the time this comes out, their Africa trail and part of their predator passage is closed for renovations. I think they're expanding it. It will be closed until, I think from what the sign says, spring of 2023. So I may do an updated video at some point when they open that up just for that kind of section. So otherwise we're going to be looking at the rest of this very, very large zoo. So the first place we have a tendency to go to is the Arizona Trail. So this has, you get in there, you have a open aviary where you have various birds, including quite a few vultures, some owls, a few different creatures in there. And then of course, you have the standard area where you go in and look at quite a few different snakes. So we have various different rattlesnakes and king snakes and lizards and lots of rattlesnakes that I prefer to see behind glass. That's how you want to see a rattlesnake, behind glass. Nowhere near it. Don't go near a rattlesnake. We do go hiking on a regular basis, and there's a trail that's literally not far from us, and we seriously, we live in the suburbs of Phoenix. This is part of a wash. We've seen rattlesnakes, multiple rattlesnakes, on sidewalks. I don't like to see my rattlesnakes on sidewalks. I prefer them behind glass because they're rattlesnakes. But the zoo shows quite a few, my preferable way to see rattlesnakes. And king snakes, yeah, and anything venomous, behind glass. So I have quite a few pictures here we'll have of the rattlesnakes, the big snakes, small snakes, lots and lots of rattlesnakes. Okay, so we'll move on here. See, after you get out of the rattlesnakes, that's kind of by the birds. We see a few more birds, and we go in and looking at more different creatures. You see some scorpions and some frogs and some lizards and yet more snakes. Again, various creatures in Arizona that you would prefer to not see. There are some very large, ugly toads in there too. I'm not fond of toads. They're creepy. They're not that big. They're a decent sized, big round toad here. So, and then you get out of that, and then we see a little bit more of the aviary where you have various. Actually, no. Once you get out of that, you see the Prairie Dog Exhibit. So you have the prairie dogs there. And I think we have some pictures of there, I'll pop that up, of a vulture in with the prairie dogs. They're live, so apparently the prairie dogs are not afraid of this thing. Yes, as of the shooting of this video, we went to the zoo today. So some of these, this is January 12th of 2022, and we saw a vulture down on the ground with these prairie dogs, which is very interesting. And then after that area, you go through another gate, and then you come into the area where we like to call, let's count the burrowing owls. Because it's literally burrowing owl. How many burrowing owls can we see? I think I've seen up to like 6 or 7. So you actually see these things quite easily. We actually, I think today, and I think I'll pop up some of the pictures, we actually saw roadrunners. Relatively small birds. Not anything like the coyote and the roadrunner in the cartoons, which, yes, those are old. But they were actually very fluffed up in these pictures because, again, it's January, so it's actually been decently cold, at least for Arizona. So we've been jumping into the 40s. I think when we filmed, I took pictures this morning, was probably in the 50s. We were in jackets. So you see the owls, and you go through and walk up. I believe, what do you see next? So I'm trying to think of what I'm staring at here. I'm looking at the map. Eventually, let's see, where on earth are these things? You see the golden eagle. That's one of the things my husband likes to see. So we'll have the golden eagle in there, which is huge. And then you have the, and you almost never see them unless you can go there at night. They do have a zoo lights that goes, I think, from somewhere around the end of November into January, about 15th. So yes, they were still playing Christmas music when we were there today, driving my husband crazy. But you have the ring-tailed creature. I can't remember the name of it. It's Arizona native. It's nocturnal, so you see it in its house. And then you go by and you see coyotes. We almost never see the coyotes, nor do we particularly care. We live in Arizona. We saw coyotes earlier in the week on our hiking trail. wild coyotes. So, but again, if you're visiting Arizona, you want to see coyotes, you might get a glimpse of them. You're standing on it's decently high up just because coyotes jump high, like over 6 feet fences. So you have to be pretty high up. And then you go through, I do believe we see some javelina. Those are the collared peccaries. These are not pigs. They are native to North and South America as opposed to pigs, which are in fact an invasive species. These things are not related to pigs at all. I'm trying to think what their closest related species is. It might be hippos. I could be wrong. But it's very far up on the evolutionary trail. So there's not really anything else like these things in the world. But they are collared, they are peccaries. In this case, they are collared peccaries, also known in Arizona as the javelina. So, and then I believe you have some, let's see, if I can go past up here. Yes, there's the javelina. You have the bobcat that we almost never see. I don't think I have any pictures of the bobcat. You have some deer. You have the mountain lions. They have 2 mountain lions in a relatively small enclosure, which is always interesting to see. So you get to see the mountain lions there. And by the mountain lions, you have various antelope creatures. I can't remember what the heck they are. They're antelope creatures. And you can see in the distance that Arizona desert trail. So, and then you go down and you can see we frequently get this, the porcupine. Now this is a New World porcupine. There is an old world porcupine that we can never get photos of because it never shows up. That's in a different part of the park. But the New World porcupine, which can come out in the day and does climb, as opposed to the Old World porcupine. And yes, I looked this up at one point in time because we have a toy porcupine. So there is a difference. Some of them in the New World, in North and South America, and in the Old World, which is, I think, part of that's Asia and Africa. So, so you have that. You have the what we call North American Southwestern Wolves, I believe is what they are. So they're different than gray. They're slightly different than gray wolves. But they are native to Arizona. They've been reintroduced. You get to see them. There's also some owls and some birds in that area. And then you come out, you see more vultures. You get to see, so those are relatively, 2 giant vultures. You also see a couple of bald eagles. We have the bald eagles there. And I think there's another exhibit of another creature that we never see because it's nocturnal. And that's most of the Arizona Trail. And then you're going to come out and you're going to pass. That's really at the very beginning. So in the areas we get to see, we do a little bit of the Africa Trail in different pieces here. Because again, under normal circumstances, most of the zoo is a giant loop. But with this area closed, it looks a little different. So next, you see the big savanna. So you see the giraffes and you see some of the various deer. You can actually feed the giraffes. So, in that area, I'm staring at the map here. So they're showing me these temporary closures. So then you literally turn around. Now there's 2 ways we can go. I'm going to go kind of do a double take here because there's 2 directions you can go past the savanna. One takes you toward the zebras, and you go past the zebras. You can look at the zebras there. You see flamingos, and then you see otters. Only you rarely ever see otters. And then you can go to a pass. Now, if you go the other direction, you get to see, you go past their lagoon. You get to see the tiger. It goes that direction, as well as they have a baby rhino down there. That's a recent thing that we've seen. You have the orangutans. You also have a big area where there's a ton of various different birds. Again, it's one of those areas there's at least 2 or 3 in the area where you're going through a couple of gates and the animals are allowed to roam free. So with this bird area, you have a bunch of stuff. I think I got a couple of pictures about peacock today that was right near the door when we went in. So there's just a bunch of different tropical birds. And again, you have the orangutans in this area. And then you have the monkey village. Now, right now, the monkey village is closed. So you can go on the side and you can see these, they're not spider monkeys. They're a different kind of tiny little monkey. But normally you can actually go through a gated area and walk around in there, but it's closed as of right now. So we were able to see the monkeys today. And then when you come out of there, I'm going to take you one direction toward the camels, if you're able to look at a map. And that's basically toward more of the Africa stuff. So, and then I'll come back. Because right now it's a loop. You can't actually, or it's a dead end. You go up to the African animals and then you stop. So you go up there, you go past, they do camel rides. We haven't done that. I think the youngest age is 2. My daughter is that age, but we're not quite ready for camels. And they have a big conservation area, and then you have cheetahs. Yeah, I'll pop up we got there early one day and we got this cheetah posing for us. I think I put this picture on my calendar. Otherwise, there's about 3 of them in the enclosure. So there's some gorgeous cheetahs. Sounds like my husband was closing a door. All right, moving on. Distractions. You see the African wild dogs after the cheetahs, and then you come around to see one of my daughter's favorite exhibits, which is the baboons and the mandrills. Very interesting creatures. I'm not a monkey fan, but my daughter seems to be obsessed with baboons right now. And across from that, you have some more deer-like African creatures and some various interesting large birds. And then next to them is the rhinos. As of what we're watching, they have a male and female. They're trying to get together, so they're currently slightly separated. They're cranky, and you have to be quiet near them because I think they're trying to breed them or something. You can go past that. You can supposedly see an old world porcupine. We've never seen the old world porcupine. It's never shown up. It's hiding. It may be nocturnal. So then you get to see some rather large tortoises, giant turtles, and the lion. So far as I know, right now they seem to have a male lion. So it was actually roaring at us today. I think I got some pictures. None of it is roaring. And then you get to see and go up and see the warthogs. Yes, they have the lion and the warthog near each other. They don't have any meerkats, at least not right now. Maybe they do at some point in time, if you're familiar with the Lion King. And then I think there's another bird or something in that area. And then you kind of loop around. You can see the rhinos again from a different angle. And then that's really the end, and you go backwards. So hopefully at one point we'll be able to do the rest of this Africa trail where it loops, but right now we would just turn around, go all the way back to the camels. And so from the camels, you go, there's a couple, basically we go by these are more South American wolves. I think they were described, when I looked at these instructions, I can't remember what they were red wolves. They were described as foxes on stilts. They're very, very tall creatures, very, very much, quite a few legs. You can go past there. You can see, I think, rheas, which are a large bird, and then you have another creature that's from South America next to them. So you're seeing some other animals. And then you come over to one of my daughter's favorite places, the equine facility, so you can see horses. So, and I think people volunteer, and you might be able to ride them or something in normal times. Again, COVID's still going on, so some things are not open. So we go past there. I think you can see more flamingos down here. Sometimes I take pictures of those flamingos. There's 2 sets of flamingos. So one of them's further up near the zebras. So, because flamingos, apparently. You move down there, you're actually going back behind the monkey village. I do believe you can see some howler monkeys around there and some more birds. And my husband has these pictures. I always take pictures of these things. These gorgeous, like, golden parrots that my husband likes to take pictures of that are down this direction. And then again, you have various lizards, and it's showing some sort of pig creature that I've never seen. Could be a old map. And tortoises, Galapagos tortoises. And then we come down to, in fact, it's showing other creatures, including a bear that I've never actually seen. It's probably off exhibit right now. Anyway, and now we're going down. We'll go down to my of my daughter's favorite part, which is they consider it's the children's trail. So we go down here where we see you have a miniature horse, a donkey, and a mule. And then so we look at those, and then we see, you cannot pet them. We see chickens. My daughter likes actually, one day we had to turn around and go back and to look at the chickens, because my daughter wants to look at the chickens. And then you kind of have a farm, basically what's called Harmony Farm. And that's where you can pet goats. So you go in there and you can pet the goats. That's the only real petting zoo they have, is petting the goats. My daughter loves to pet the goats because she's a toddler. So we respect the goats. And then after we pet the goats, we move on to, I'm staring at the map here. Go down to look at some of my daughter's other favorite creature, sloths. Parental warning, never look up the sound a sloth makes. We did this. My daughter now screeches. The mating call of a sloth is not something you want your child emulating. Yeah, we made that mistake. She screeches. It's annoying. We see the sloth. We see some hornbills, which can be very, very loud up in that area. And let's see, what else do we have up there that I can remember seeing besides these sloths? We have some tiny little deer creatures that you can almost never see. They do have a monkey island here in the middle, but lately that we've been able to see, the monkeys aren't there. So I don't know what's going on with that exhibit, but the monkeys haven't been there. And then you see some owls. You have the tamarins, which are the tiny little monkeys. And a couple, like I said, deer creatures. I think I got some decent pictures of them today for the first time. So they're two tiny little deer in two separate enclosures here, as well as I think more vultures. And then you have you have a giant python. The giant python pops up here, as well as in the emu. You have the emu. And that's kind of the end of the children's trail. You go back, you winding up roads. You do run into the elephant. Odd coincidence, we've never seen the elephant. I may have one picture. They're very large creatures. We've never seen them. We've been to the zoo like 4 or 5 times this season. We have yet to see the elephants. So they're in a big enclosure. I think they're mourning. I think one of them died, so it's very possible that they're mourning. Now they do various little events there. They have amphitheaters. It's very obvious that they do various birthday parties and different events. They're open to doing a bunch of different things. There's I think there was a couple school groups there today. So it was a little more crowded than we would like. So, and let's see, is there anything else besides the birds? Oh yes, there are more. If you go by the tropical birds, this is going backwards just a little bit across from the tigers. They have that giant lagoon where they have some monkeys, and I think I got some pictures of those. That's further up again near the tigers. So it's a good size zoo. I mean, it's very, very large. I think there are black swans around there somewhere. We don't always get to everything when we go to the zoo. See if I can put the black swans. I think I got some pictures of those. Again, we've been here multiple times this season. We'll probably go there multiple more times after I do this video. A cat biting me here. So the Phoenix Zoo is very, very large, even without their predator trail, which hopefully will be able to see at some point, and I'll do an additional video on that. So if you're coming to Phoenix, again, fall through spring, mid-October through May, if you can get there earlier September, probably be careful, it's going to get hot, and the same with maybe late May. I mean, if you can get there early, like first thing when they open in the morning, you might be okay. Bring water, bring hats, beware. It gets hot, and this zoo is a lot of walking up hills, down hills. We use a hiking stroller. I have a strap on the thing. I put it on my wrist when we're going up, down some of these places, particularly on our way out when we're leaving past the elephants. There's a big downhill thing toward the tigers. So, and the lagoon. They have a Ferris wheel. Obviously, it's a big event thing. We bring our own water and snacks. So, and then of course you leave through there, as always. the gift shop. Be warned. Thankfully you can. There's automatic doors that kind of bypass the side of it. So hopefully you can get out if you do not want to buy anything from the zoo, as we normally don't. So, yawning. Sorry about that. That really is it. I mean, the Phoenix Zoo is huge. Again, hopefully we'll be able to see the Predator Passage at some point. I remember doing it before I had a kid. So, years ago. So the zoo is huge. I mean, I'm staring at this map and it's gigantic. Today, taking our time, we got there at 9. We did not leave until noon. So, and we saw we didn't even see everything. We bypassed some stuff to get to because my daughter wanted to see the goats. And then she wanted to see the sloth, which is kind of what we do. We do the children's portion at the very end. So that's kind of how we go around. So it's a good size zoo for those who are local to the Phoenix area or new to homeschooling. It's worth it to get a yearly pass. In fact, I can see if I can go on there and say what on hours and rates. Here we go. See if I can get you. So if you're not general daytime admission, is it worth it? Probably. For adults 14 and up, it's $29.95, and then for children 3 to 13, it's $19.95. So it is kind of expensive. So let us see. On here. So, and here are the hours. So November 1st through January 20th, the hours are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. For early entries, it's 8 a.m. for members. So from January 21st until May 31st, you can get in. Let's see. Again, the hours do not, looks like they exchanged it. So it's 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then from January 21st to May 31st, it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And again, the members can get in at 8. So I'm guessing the hours change, obviously, in summer. So let us see if I can find how much I spent on the yearly passes. So here we go. Become a member. The other thing about becoming members with these zoos is they'll link you to, you can get either half off or regular or free admission into various different zoos and aquariums all over the country. So be sure to always check those out too. I think we got in on like half admission to Zoo Boise when we went to visit family in Idaho. So let us see how much it's going to show me. All right, so for one person, it's $99 a year. That's 1 year. What we have a family. So for individual plus, if you happen to be adults without children, it's $129 a year for 2 adults. And then for the family, this is what I have, which is $199 a year, which is 2 adults and up to 4 children ages 3 to 17. So technically my daughter would be getting in free right now, even though technically she's on our card because she's under 3. So that's what I do. If you have a larger family, $299 a year, that's 3 adults and up to 6 children between the ages of 3 and 17. Plus, apparently, they do complimentary safari cruisers. So that's the membership. So if you're local, or if you visit Arizona a lot, it's probably worth it to get one of their memberships. So, and let's see. Oddly enough, supporting members, which, ow, cats. And then they have additional stuff. So, but yeah, it's probably worth it to get a yearly pass. So that's really it. Again, pardon, this is a different kind of video because I'm looking at the zoo. The other one I'll be doing this year is the aquarium. I think I need to gather more pictures though. The aquarium is a place that we go to in the summer more often. And the butterfly the Butterfly House as well, which are in the same area. So that's a place we can go to the summer. We have a tendency to go in summer because it's indoors. And you don't want to be outdoors in the summer in Arizona. You just don't. As opposed to up north where everybody it's freezing. We don't go outside in summer, in winter. In the Southwest, at least down here, it's summer. That's our hibernating time. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, it's a little different from my book reviews and my film reviews. So this is the first time I've actually filmed one of these. So it'll be interesting to see how this comes out. So little bit of a grace, it's the first time we've done this. So, and if you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Again, I do mostly book and film reviews. I will be doing the aquarium. I will be doing more travel videos and probably more educational videos, particularly as my daughter gets older. I say this at the end of a lot of videos. She, as of this shooting, it's January, so she's almost 2.5. Once she hits 3, we'll be doing a little bit more, possibly curriculum stuff, maybe more structured stuff. We will definitely see as that goes on, but I will definitely be adding those as we utilize them. So, and see kind of how things go. And once we get traveling again, I will be doing videos on that. As of right now, I'm hoping, this is nowhere near guaranteed whatsoever, particularly as of this time, is possibly going to visit family in Idaho again. My husband's grandmother will be 99 this July. And possibly going up to the Grand Canyon. Not sure. We're thinking about it. It's an idea. I will talk about that if we can do it.